500 branches and new ones just vanish. The indexing job times out silently, leaving developers blind. Let's break down Jenkins Multibranch Pipeline, how it works, and the exact mistake behind that failure. Multibranch Pipeline is a plugin that automatically creates a pipeline for each branch, pull request, or tag in your repository. It scans the repo, finds branches with a Jenkins file, and creates corresponding pipeline items. No more manual job setup. To set up, install the required plugins, create a new multi-branch pipeline job, add your SCM source, configure which branches to discover, and point to your Jenkins file. Jenkins will run an initial branch indexing to find existing branches. Branch indexing is the process that discovers branches. It fetches the list of references, checks each for a Jenkins file, and creates or updates the corresponding pipeline. The indexing log is your first stop for troubleshooting. The Jenkins file defines your pipeline. It can be declarative or scripted. Use environment variables like branch name to conditionally run stages. Always keep it in version control. Multi-branch can build pull requests and tags. For PRs, you can build the merge result, the head, or both. Tags are great for releases. Use filtering to avoid building every tag. Webhooks provide near-instant builds. Periodic scanning is a fallback. Use both, but disable the old build when a change is pushed, option to avoid duplicates. For secrets, use Jenkins Credentials Store and bind them in your pipeline with credentials. Never hardcode API keys or passwords in the Jenkins file. Treat your Jenkins file as code. Review it, test it, version it. Use declarative syntax, set timeouts, and implement fail fast. Shared libraries help standardize common functions across teams. For large repos, filter branches to limit indexing scope. Increase the branch indexing timeout. Consider a dedicated Jenkins instance and archive branches older than 6 months. Each SCM has a specific plugin. For GitHub, use the GitHub branch source plugin and set up webhooks at /GitHub webhook/. For Bitbucket and GitLab, similar endpoints exist. The article mentions filtering branches but doesn't show the exact syntax. Use the filter by name with regular expression. Behavior to include only branches matching a pattern, e.g., main release / feature $. This reduces indexing load and prevents stale branches from appearing. The article mentions increasing branch indexing timeout but doesn't specify where to set it. Navigate to Manage Jenkins, Configure System, and find the Global Properties section. Add a property named org, Jenkinsfile, plugins, workflow, multi-branch, branch indexing timeout with a value in minutes, e.g., 30. This applies to all multi-branch pipelines. The article references env, branch name, but doesn't show a concrete example. Here's a declarative pipeline snippet that deploys only to production when the branch is main and to staging for other branches. When debugging, start with the branch indexing log. Then check the specific build log. Use the pipeline syntax tool to generate correct snippets. Monitor the Jenkins system log for global errors. This is the same issue we highlighted at the start. Here's exactly why that happened. The repository had over 500 branches. The default branch indexing timeout is 10 minutes. The indexing job would start, scan for 10 minutes, then abort without any visible error. Developers saw no new branches and assumed everything was fine. The branch indexing timeout was set to 10 minutes, causing silent failures for large repositories. The fix increased the timeout to 30 minutes. The fix was simple. Increase the branch indexing timeout in Jenkins Global Configuration to 30 minutes. We also enabled periodic indexing every 15 minutes as a backup. After a manual scan, all branches appeared. If your repo has many branches, the default 10-minute timeout may cause indexing to abort silently. Always increase it for repos with hundreds of branches. If you have both webhook and a very frequent periodic scan, you'll get duplicate builds. Disable periodic scanning or set it to a longer interval like every 30 minutes. Never hardcode secrets in your Jenkins file. Use Jenkins credentials and the with credentials step to bind them securely. Let's run through some common interview questions. How does multi-branch discover branches? Scans repo, checks for Jenkinsfile, creates pipeline. Difference between merge and head PR strategies. Merge builds merged result. Head builds source branch. How to handle secrets. Use with credentials step and Jenkins credential store. And a few frequently asked questions. Can I use build parameters? No, use env, branch name or properties step. How to filter branches? Use filter by name behavior with wildcards or regex. What if a branch is deleted? Pipeline auto-deletes on next indexing. To recap, multi-branch pipeline automates pipeline creation per branch. Use webhooks for instant triggers and increase the indexing timeout for large repos. Treat your Jenkins file as code and always monitor indexing logs to catch silent failures. Ready to go deeper? Up next, Jenkins GitHub integration and webhooks, then trigger Jenkins pipeline with GitHub webhook, then Jenkins Maven build. Find them all at TheCodeForge.io. Thanks for watching. The full article and code examples are covered in detail at TheCodeForge.io.